Hello everybody, thanks for joining me for this week's question and answer video. My name's David, I'm a life coach. I'm trying to help you guys heal from different kinds of trauma. So please keep asking questions. It's one of the best ways to learn. Engage in communication and talking and asking questions and learning and understanding. Okay, this is one of the best ways, one things you guys can do from home anytime on your computer. Okay, so please keep asking questions. If you get a chance, please go down and subscribe to my channel. Vote up or down, let me know why too. I'd really appreciate that and all your guys' support. Thank you. Let's see. I want to thank Tanya for your donation. Thank you, Tanya. That's the second one this year. Thank you very much. I can't think of a better gesture for somebody that you don't know to give them your money. That's really, really nice of you, Tanya. Thank you very much. Let's see. I like to make recommendations every week to you guys to help you guys recover from trauma, sleeping better or eating better and exercising, dealing with anxiety, depression, things like this. This week, I want to help you guys or just offer some tips on communication. Vitally important. I believe all of us, and I'm speaking about people who have neglectful relationships in your adulthood, to say the least, neglect. If we had neglectful childhood, it might be very hard for you guys to identify. It can be very beneficial to do that, but having emotional neglect in our childhood literally means we were limited in communication, conversation. We may not be very good at it. I always thought I was really good at communicating because I thought I was really good at arguing. No. Being a good communicator helps us emotionally connect with people and get what we need in life. The most important things we need in life are emotional needs, and we do that only in relationships with people. So we have to form and maintain healthy, loving, growing relationships. We have to know how to communicate, and I think everybody can always communicate better no matter where you're at. So I came up with 10 tips on better communication. I'm going to read those for you. They're not in any particular order. Looking at them now, I see that I could probably put them in better order. You guys are more welcome to do that. But here are 10 tips for better communication, okay? First one I have is how to ask. How to ask somebody for something that you want. And the best thing to remember is just how you feel and tell them what you want. That's it, okay? We don't have to beg. We don't have to have reasons and excuses and lots of explanations. Try and keep it just to that. And this is a great way to tell, unhealthy, toxic people that you don't want in your life anymore. Tell them how it makes you feel and then tell them what you want them to do, okay? Second, very important, is body language. Body language. Imagine if I never looked at the camera while I talked to you guys, right? Imagine if I was, you're in front of me and I just never looked at you. Eye contact. Eye contact. You want to know how somebody likes you? You're wondering if someone likes you in a room, right? Look at their eyes and look at if you can look at their pupils and see what size they are. And then when they look at you, if their pupils get bigger, typically they like you, they're attracted to you, or they're really angry at you. But body language, we face people. I go like this, looks like I don't want to be here. I'm ready to leave. If I look around, it looks like I'm looking for the exit. How do I get out of here? Who's more interesting than you? I want to do anything but sit here and talk to you. Okay, and this is being aware and mindful of what we're doing, because it's important that we make people feel comfortable and that we're interested in them and things like this. Okay, body language. We don't want to stay closed, right? We don't want to sit there and play with my nails, look at my phone. I mean, how rude is that? I remember one time I saw this couple sat next to us in a restaurant. They sat down at a table and they both just sat there and looked at their phones the whole time. And every once in a while, they might ask another person a question, and the other person kind of answers, and they never even looked at each other. Just, God. Third one, have intentions going into conversations, wanting to connect with somebody. Emotional connection is vitally important for any relationship to grow, to be loving, and just functional. We must have emotional connection. Not everybody values this. As you guys know, a lot of you dated toxic people, they do not value emotional connection with others, okay? But most of you watching this, most of us, we do. Most people in the world do. So understanding that we're all different, not everybody values this, but go into conversations with people with this intent. Emotional connection can be measured by conversation, and that flows back and forth real easy. And so that leads me to my next one, and that's listen. Try listening more than speaking. Really, because you can't listen to somebody while you're talking. You just can't, And I get this a lot. I do. Both. I've talked to people who just don't communicate, who just answer you just sit there and it's like pulling teeth, asking. So you just end up just asking questions and questions and questions, and they're like, no, yeah, fine, okay. It's like, geez, never mind. I'm not going to try it like that. And I don't take it as as being disrespectful, things like this, but most people will. I understand that not everybody's a good communicator. So try listening. It's the only way we'll ever understand somebody and how they feel and what they want. And it's the only way we'll connect with somebody and learn who they are. Listen. Try listening more than talking. I also get people that never stop talking. And this is really common, can be really common amongst people like us who have trauma in our lives or suffering from PTSD, things like this. Just the talk. Even ask you a question and don't let you answer. And when I'm in a conversation like that with somebody, if you want to call it a conversation, because it's one way, I don't sit there and try to be heard and butt in and try, and I'll get people asking me questions and won't even let me answer, and I'll just sit there and smile. Just sit there and just wait till they're completely done. And it might literally be hours. An hour. And I don't try to change people. I accept them for who they are. And if it's really important to me, I might say, hey, you're not giving me a chance to even answer your questions. You've asked me 4 questions in the last 40 minutes about totally different topics. And you just asked me a question, move right on to a new topic, ask me a question, move on right topic, and I didn't even answer. That's zero communication. Okay? Number 5. That was number 4. Number 5. Understand the other person. Try to understand them. Try and listen. Try and understand who they are. Try not to expect who they are. Try to take the time to see who they are. Right? Let them talk and let them explain themselves and try to understand who they are and what they want and what they need and how they feel. Okay? And that's the way that they'll listen to you and try to understand you, and that's how we build that emotional connection. Number 6, empathy and compassion when talking to somebody, right? Empathy and compassion. Empathy, the ability to understand how somebody feels. We don't have to absorb how they feel. Really important. I had such a problem with that when people came up and would tell me something bad in their life, I just got this overwhelmingly feeling of how they feel. And it took me a long time to understand and accept that I don't have to. You don't have to feel other people's pain. It's okay. It's not being cold or mean or unempathetic at all. There's we all have a lot of problems in our life, and we all have really ups and really downs. And when someone's really down, sometimes they just want you to listen to them. And I just say, I'm sorry. I don't try to fix their problems. Don't do that. You don't have to, unless someone asks. I don't give my opinion unless someone asks for it. Unwanted opinions are just gross, aren't they? And that word, you should feel that way. You shouldn't feel that way. This is one of my favorites from Narcissists, right? Borderlines and histrionic. Someone tells you how they feel, and you just knock it down, block it. You say, oh, well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel that way. You don't need to feel that way. I don't feel that way. I wouldn't. Someone else doesn't. Other people don't. Right? We've all heard this, haven't we? You're sensitive. You're emotional. You take things too personally. We're all different, right? And someone's trying to tell you how they feel, and we're not listening, okay? And we don't need to absorb it. We don't need to take responsibility for other people's feelings, right? We take responsibility for our own emotions and feelings. That's number 7. Emotions are our body doing things. Feelings are awareness of what that is. And we don't place that onto somebody else. Well, I feel bad. What about my feelings? I've heard that a lot from toxic people. You try and explain to somebody how they feel, and they say, what about my feelings? What about mine? It's like, okay, what about yours? Tell me how you feel. But, I mean, I guess then we'll get back to how I feel when you're done talking about how you feel now, because I didn't get a chance to do that. So we take responsibility for our own emotions, okay? And when we feel, it doesn't matter what it is. All the bad ones, we feel anxious and depressed and sad and scared and things like this. These are our emotions to make ourselves feel better. And one way we can do that is by communicating this to somebody, by opening up, being vulnerable, and telling someone how you feel. And it's not other people's responsibility to make you feel better or make you happy, okay? If you want to talk about something they did that made you feel this way, then you tell them how you feel and you tell them why. Okay? When you do this, it always makes me feel bad, okay? So I'm asking you to try to be aware to not do that anymore so I feel better. And all they have to do is say, okay, I will. All right? It's not, oh gosh, I'm so sorry you feel this way. Let me go get some Advil. Let me go get you a cup of this, and let me take you out to this. No. It's not our responsibility, and our emotions aren't someone else's. Emotional responsibility, okay? So that was take responsibility for your emotions is number 7. Number 8, feelings over actions. I always say it doesn't matter what you do, only how you feel about it, okay? And when we're trying to tell somebody else that what they did makes us feel bad and hurts our feelings, try to put the emphasis on how you feel. So important. When you're with a manipulator, a narcissist, or something like this, and you tell them, hey, you always do this. You did this, and that's BS. That's wrong. What are they going to do? For anybody's going to feel attacked. They're going to defend themselves, and manipulators are going to deflect and blame you and say, no, I didn't do it, and gaslight you, okay? If you tell somebody how it makes you feel, and that's what's important, that's all that matters. Because what somebody else does may not hurt me, but hurt you, right? So tell them, it hurts me. It hurts me. It makes me feel so anxious out to the tips of my fingers, and my blood is boiling, and my skin's crawling, and my hair's standing up everywhere. These are emotions. And then tell them what it feels, what it's called. I'm anxious. I'm upset. I feel insecure. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you do, only how you feel about it. It doesn't matter what somebody else does, only how you feel about it. All right? Talking about just what somebody does is judgmental. Okay? Talking about how we feel and our emotions aren't wrong. They aren't right. They're not bad. Nobody can argue that. And when somebody tries to, they're not listening to you or who you are or care how you feel. Okay? And here's number 9. Go into conversations with people, especially if you're asking something from somebody. Go in there expecting and accepting and respecting no. Very important. I know a lot of times we're in bad situations. Our life is down, and we count upon the people that we care about and that care about us, the people that we've been there for them and done things for them. Doesn't matter. We want to go in and ask somebody a question. We have to go into it knowing that they might say no, and just accepting that, and we're just going to ask. We're not going to manipulate. We're not going to tell them, oh God, I need you, and you have to do this for me, and I did this for you. No, it doesn't matter. We learn from it. If somebody's not going to be there for us when we need them, we accept that, and we accept who somebody is, and then we decide what we want to do about it, if we want them in our life still, okay? Always expect no, and accept no, and respect no, okay? Really important. Number 10, always know yourself better. More and more self-awareness. Know what you want. Know how you feel. Know what you value, okay? Stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are. Understand the morals that you value. Maybe you value respect and honesty and integrity. And always use this. Respect other people. Be honest. Have integrity. It doesn't matter what they're doing or what they're saying. Okay? You can still be true to yourself. And when we allow someone else to change who we are unstable. And we come out of these situations with shame and guilt, and we may not understand why. That's why. Because what matters is us, who we are. And we stay true to that. If someone's mistreating us, we accept who they are, and we don't accept their behaviors, and we can keep them out of our life, and we can do that with integrity and respect, right? But we must have self-respect too, and we respect ourselves and don't let people do that. But that doesn't mean argue with them. That doesn't mean revenge. That doesn't mean you started it, so I get to treat you badly. That doesn't mean I'm going to engage in yelling and shouting. Doesn't mean I have to hit you back if you hit me. Now, don't get me wrong. If someone's attacking you, you can protect yourself and defend yourself. But what I'm saying is, somebody slaps you and walks away, do something else about it. We don't need to chase them down and slap them back, right? And call the police and never see them again, things like this, okay? I hope that helps you guys, because I think everybody can always use better communication skills. Always, always. And like I said, I used to think I was a really good communicator, and I've learned later in life that I wasn't, because I couldn't ask. I couldn't even ask for help. I couldn't even ask for help, and we have to feel worthy of doing that and expecting no, and understanding that it's okay to ask for people, for what you want from people, okay? Thank you. Okay, let's get into the questions. I pulled out about 9 or 10 really good questions. They're always really good, but these are pretty good. These are in depth, and always, guys, please tell me where your location is, where you are, please. You can be general. You don't have to be specific. I don't even care if you say planet Earth or planet whatever you're on. Okay? Let us know where you're at. I think it's really engaging, and I just really, really enjoy that, and I know a lot of others do too. Thank you. And first one is Curly Girl. You've told me where you're from, I think, before, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. My question this week is, how can you stop the negative self-talk and put down? Well, you just stop it. Just kidding. Getting out of a narcissistic relationship is an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute you're up, the next minute you're down. 1 minute you're strong and moving forward, and the next you're wondering if you weren't good enough and if everything about the relationship was just a huge lie. How does one accept the truth, gather their self-worth, and move on? A loaded question here. So, to try to put it short and sweet. How do you stop the negative self-talk and put down? Understand what that is, okay? These are forms of depression. That's what it looks like. And try to understand that our brains are not who we are. It's what we are. It's our body, our brains are trying to care about, or trying to do one thing that it cares about, and that's it, and that's keep you alive. If we have bad experiences, your brain's going to tell you you're going to keep having bad experiences. And so we tend to, in depression, we tend to isolate, withdraw, and not engage and talk to people, okay? So understand that that's something that's going on, possibly with you and anybody who's listening. We have an inner voice, don't we? And it cares about keeping you alive. The more safe you are, and we're talking emotionally, right? The less people hurt us, and the less stressed we are in our relationships, and everything's going well, that voice doesn't need to be so loud and gets really quiet. If we having people hurt us repeatedly, and we keep going back, and we can't handle all the stress in our life emotionally, that voice gets really loud. It can become our inner critic. It can tell us all kinds of bad things, not just the world's a bad place and people are bad, but so are we. Don't even try. You're always going to get hurt. You don't even deserve better. You're a sick POS. You're stupid. You're dumb. I mean, how many times have you guys heard someone say, oh, I'm stupid, I'm dumb? We don't do that. You know how powerful that is? Yeah. And so, therefore, it's also very powerful to tell our stuff good and positive things as well. Right? Daily affirmations. Make that a part of your daily life if you believe you need to right now. I don't see why anyone wouldn't, or how it could hurt anyone. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself something positive and good every single day. So, who we are, one of the part that makes up who we are our emotions, and we accept who we are, so we accept our emotions. We don't try to block them and numb them. We listen and we speak it and we express them. But our brains aren't who we are. And we're not always in control of our thoughts, are we? Right? And the further we are away from ourselves, the closer we are to who we're not, our brains, and we listen to them. And so we challenge these things. We challenge negative thoughts. They're not true. Anyone wants to tell me a negative thought and tell me how it's true, I'd love to hear it. Okay? About ourselves, not about the world or environment or other people. And some of those too. So challenge these thoughts. I did a video not too long ago about negative thoughts and how to challenge them, right? Oh, David, you're not good enough. Silly brain, yes, I am. I'm good enough and I'm worthy of it, of everything that I want and everything that I need, okay? So, this depression, really beating it is, there's a lot of other things you can do, but forced positivity, forced, even if we don't feel like it, right? I know I need to get out of the house and move around and get my heart going. Well, but I don't feel like it, so I'm just going to sit inside and not do it. Well, you're going to feel even worse, okay? We may not feel like going out there, especially when our lives are down, but we push ourselves, we face our fears, right? And we feel better. We do what we know is good for us. So we don't put ourselves down. And the negative self-talk, like I said, it could be out loud, verbally. Oh, that was stupid, something I did. Oh, that was stupid. We don't do that. I don't allow my clients to do that, period. Nobody's stupid. Nobody's stupid. When I'm talking to somebody else, neither of us are stupid. Not me, not you. And we can't do that. We just can't. And we can reverse it by telling ourselves good things, even if we don't feel it. We know it's good for us. It's powerful. It sinks in eventually, I promise. Okay? So, how does one accept the truth? We talk to somebody and we keep saying it and saying it and saying it. All right? Talking to somebody is number one. Always. Always, always, always. And somebody that we trust and somebody that really can help us. That can be a difficult thing to do for the people in our lives that care for us. They may not know how to help us. It's really not their job. You hire somebody, and doing that raises your self-worth. You just gather their self-worth. So let me tell you what self-worth is real quick. Because I often see people get this confused with self-esteem, right? Self-esteem is believing we're not, poor, low self-esteem is believing we're not all equal. It is. And we can do that by comparing ourselves to others, right? And trying to live up to others' standards and how someone looks and feels. And we just can't do that, because there's always someone smarter. There's always